From Jurassic Park to Jurassic World, one thing has remained consistent within the design of the genetically modified raptors: this massive-ass claw. Used to slice and dice up its prey, and maybe even for communication, the Jurassic films always seem to place focus on this deadly biological weapon, and for good reason. It is terrifying to imagine getting shredded by one of these huge-ass claws. But what about the raptor or dromaeosaur family of dinosaurs in real life? Did they use it the same as their Hollywood counterparts? This is Jacob Residence, and let's get to it! There are a lot of differences from the film to real-life raptors, but one thing the series did portray well was how the predators used their massive single claw to pin and stab into their prey. Research tells us that this was very important to raptors of all kinds for killing their prey, almost pivotal for them to be able to survive actually. Now you may be asking, but why? It's not like the animal couldn't kill otherwise, right? Well, new studies may just suggest that it wasn't quite as easy for the raptors to get a kill as most of us have originally thought. The swift and fast-running raptors of the Jurassic franchise may be more myth than reality due to many fossils showcasing that the metatarsus bone, the bones that help with movement in the feet, being short and stocky, opposite of what they need to be to promote speed. This, combined with hind limbs that seem to not be well suited for sprinting, have made the creatures possibly much slower and not nearly as nimble, sacrificing athleticism for pure gripping strength. Which does make sense since it doesn't seem very functional to have a banana-sized claw on your foot if you wanted to run fast. Instead of running down its prey, the raptors may have been better suited to stalk and unleash devastating sneak attacks on their prey, only having to manage short distances before jumping and lashing out with that terrible claw. To support this theory, the joints in the feet looked like they were very mobile, which helped make sure the raptor could handle the prey as it tried its best to get away from the attack. Which, if you have ever had a cat latch onto you before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Instead of being like a big slashing knife like what Dr. Grant claimed in Jurassic Park, the claw would be more accurately described as an anchor of sorts, primarily used to help pin the prey down until it wore out and became weak. There was even a locking mechanism of sorts located in the foot that would help keep the raptors latched onto their prey. All those scenes over the years of raptors jumping on much larger creatures was probably a common occurrence in real life actually, so good on ya Hollywood, you done right. We see this technique used today in our very own modern raptors, the birds of prey. Notice how the feet and talons are holding down the prey while the animal balances and holds it down until it can begin to feed. Moving away from the birds of today and into the age of the dinosaurs, and this strategy would have been similar but much more violent, as some of these raptors could grow to rather large sizes, and their prey would have almost always been much bigger than themselves. To aid in wearing out and, lack of better words, crushing the life out of its prey, a raptor or a pack of raptors would use their now commonly thought to be half-wing-like forelimbs to help with balance, and to possibly even disorientate and cage its prey and even more. Just imagine a bunch of flapping raptors holding down a big herbivore dinosaur. It would have been quite the sight to see, right? So over time, paleontologists think some of the small ancestors to the raptor family of dinosaurs chose to climb the ancient trees, probably to escape from danger or to hunt. Their stubby and dull claws that are common for normal ground animals began to adapt to be better suited for grasping the thick bark of the trees. Those that preferred to stay on the ground more permanently began to grow, and eventually they turned into the Velociraptor, UtahRaptor, and the rest of the land-dwelling raptors in general, finally giving an explanation as to how this massive claw came to be, scaling the ancient trees, and eventually adapting their claws that were made for grasping and killing, led these creatures to become well suited for perching. Yep, just like birds do today. This is huge, since it could mean that the reason why we have birds today as we know them is because dinosaurs that were able to climb trees eventually figured out that jumping from tree to tree was much faster than climbing down. At first, they were probably only able to glide through the air, But over time and with some practice, they eventually evolved to fly amongst the thick jungles of prehistoric Earth. Fast forward a few million years and evolution brings to you the first flying dinosaurs. Not to get confused with pterosaurs. All because of claws designed like that of the raptors. While birds probably didn't directly come from any specific raptor, a common ancestor somewhere down the line that happened to share the same grasping claws certainly was possibly a cause to our feathered friends today. It is crazy that something as relatively simple as a claw or talon could be such a pivotal part of the creation of new life. And we can't forget about another ancient creature that adapted a certain simple, opposable thumb, and that turned out mostly successful, I would say. Just more proof that the smallest of things can make the biggest of changes in the great story of life. Residents, if you liked today's video, make sure to tell us what you want to learn about next when it comes to dinosaurs. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as we post some special content on there that just may grasp your attention. Yeah. As always, guys, peace out.